again. Okay. Now, I understand you have a new case going about January 6th, the J6 event at the United States Capitol during the inauguration of Joe Biden, and the protesters who were basically lured into the Capitol building by undercover government, FBI or other deep state provocateurs. And the Capitol Police were told to stand down and literally held the door open for protesters to enter. So I understand. Could you tell us about your defense of the J6ers? How many J6ers are you defending?
I'm actually with a firm now, the John Pierce Law firm, and we've actually had over 30 January 6 clients. I've had at least 10 jury trials, and I think also three bench trials. So 13 trials, believe it or not. Boy, it really adds up. And I've practically moved to DC in the last year. In some cases, I have a trial almost every week, or at least 2 a month. And we've had big trials, including the Proud Boys trial. That was a 4.5-month long trial, and also misdemeanor trials. I've had several of those. And the government just comes in so strong. They have so many just insurmountable resources.
Have you gotten any of the J6ers off? Like got the charges dropped or gotten them found not guilty?
Let's put it this way. I have defeated some counts, but remember, these guys are always charged with multi-count indictments, like 18 counts or 12 counts, 10 counts. So we've defeated a couple counts here and there, but by and large, I'd have to say we've lost every case. The jury pool in D.C. is just so brutal. It's pro-government. Half the residents of D.C. work for the...
Are you able to get the case moved to a different jurisdiction?
We file motion after motion. They're all denied. The judges won't allow it. Again, those are things that could be appealed in some of these cases.
So these J6ers that you're defending, are they all locked up right now?
Not all of them. Let me think. There's at least 4, maybe at least 4 that I know of that are locked up doing long sentences. Dominic Pizzola of the Proud Boys is doing a 10-year sentence. Chris Albert's doing a 7-year sentence. We have a guy that's incarcerated waiting to be sentenced. The government is recommending 12 years. He's currently in the jail waiting to be sentenced. So, but some of them are misdemeanor cases, and they've already, served a few days in jail or they're on probation or something.
How is the government prosecutors getting away with this when it's come out? I mean, mainstream media, Tucker Carlson has exposed all this stuff on national television, that the whole story is a fraud, that there were government provocateurs, that the police, were short-staffed intentionally and let the J6ers in, that there was very little damage caused. How in the hell are they getting away with this? I mean, it should be blatantly obvious the whole thing's a scam.
Well, let's put it this way. There's a little bit of everything in J6. There's a little bit of everything. You can find undercover government informants. They certainly were playing roles. There was Antifa there. People don't,
Yeah, I know about that too.
Mainstream media, mainstream news says, no, that's been debunked. Not true. There were at least 100, there were busloads of Antifa there.
Were the Antifas posing as Trump supporters or protesters?
I think so, a little bit, yes, definitely. There was that. I think there were some that weren't even hiding it. And there were legitimate Trumpers who were also acting very recklessly. So you can find a little bit of everything if you look for it.
What about the cop who shot Ashley Babbitt?
Not even...
and Ashley Babbitt was a registered libertarian, I believe, in California.
Right. That's right.
Registered libertarian voter.
Absolute murder. It's a case, that you cannot open fire and shoot someone and use deadly force when no deadly force is offered against you or someone else. That cop just opened fire and killed that woman.
She was unarmed?
Well, for going in a window, essentially. Unarmed, going in a window.
Wow. Has anybody tried to go after the cop with any kind of charges?
I believe finally they have filed a lawsuit, but the cop has absolutely skated, no punishment whatsoever. He's still on the job.
And now there was a press release put out by the Libertarian Party, the former, not the last LNC, the one, I guess, from 2020 to 2022, under chairman at the time, Joe Bishop Henchman, where the National Libertarian Party kind of towed the government line on the press release, actually saying that the J6ers initiated force and fraud, and that it was just some horrible travesty to liberty. I think that was. What was your opinion of that press release?
I often say that was the low point of the Libertarian Party. That press release, where the chairman of the Libertarian Party disgraced the party and basically said that the people who protested at the Capitol on January 6th were a disgrace. And this actually, I believe they even said the Libertarian Party stood in solidarity with the police state.
Yeah.
With the police.
Yeah, basically.
Basically condemned people who dared to demonstrate in a government marble building.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we the people should have the right to fight back or defend ourselves against people initiating force and fraud, including government. That's what the founders of this country did. It was, a revolution. And second of all, we have a right to protest. And third of all, they really didn't do that much damage compared to the amount of damage done by Antifa and Black Lives Matter. So anyway, yeah, that was a horrible press release. And the Libertarian Party has since, under a different administration, they've put out some different comments that would be more positive about the J6ers, but the party has never repudiated that press release.
No. It is, I think the Libertarian Party has improved since that point. Again, I believe that was the low point of the Libertarian Party in all of its history. We have gotten rid of some of those statists on the LNC. It's gotten a little bit better, but I don't believe they've really repudiated.
Do you think that they should issue a press release actually repudiating that press release and calling for the release or pardon of charges dropped against all J6ers and criminal charges pressed against all the people in government who manipulated that, the people at the FBI, the Capitol Police, any politicians involved? Should they be charged criminally?
Well, let's put it this way. There are so many. We're talking about hundreds, maybe thousands of separate people involved, incidents involved. There were undercover operations like the pipe bombs, the planning of the pipe bombs. Mm-hmm. So many things that have never been explained. Absolutely, there needs to be an investigation by the Libertarian Party. I'd like to see the Libertarian Party do a report on this, to expose this. And there's so many aspects of January 6th that still need to be really.
And another thing was that the reason people were protesting was because they questioned the results of the election. Now, regardless of what you think happened in the election, I think one thing we should all agree on: there's a lack of transparency in the election process.
Absolutely. Honestly, the American elections are not secure, and almost anybody who looks closely at American elections regards them as subject to all kinds of potential fraud and irregularities and problems of all kinds. Mm-hmm. I've run for Secretary of State as a Libertarian in Montana several times. American elections are not as secure as people think they are.
Yeah. Well, anyway, good luck on the trial, and how much longer do you think it's going to go?
Well, when you say the trial...
Or the trials. How much longer do you think this J6 drama is going to carry on?
Honestly, until the political system stops it, in my opinion.
Wow.
Because the government the DOJ keeps arresting new people every single day. They are arresting new January 6ers. Even now, 3.5 years later, they are still indicting people.
And you know what's so funny about it? Very little damage was done. You compare it to the damage done by Black Lives Matter and Antifa rioters. But anyway, okay, it's been great talking to you, Roger, and we'll keep in touch in the future. Good luck to you. Thanks.
Absolutely.